And welcome everybody to Sports and Leisure with Heflings and Heisure. I am your host, Ty Hefling, and back with me is co-host Stephen Hefling. Stephen, how you doing?
Good. Glad to be
Hey
back.
Ty, I'm here too.
Yeah, Greg, I always introduced you last, though, you know.
How I'm doing.
Oh, well, and back as well, co-host Greg Heisure. Greg, how are you feeling?
Great.
You guys both missed last week, so it left me kind of here to twiddle my thumbs and just ramble on for like an hour and a half, it felt like. And hopefully this week is going to be much better with some things to bounce off to. So that's good. I hope everybody enjoyed last week, but we're back to the milk and bread of the podcast, and that's the three of us, and that's the way I like it to be. So last week, week 2 in the NFL was a pretty good week, I'd say. I don't know about what you guys think, but a lot more competitive games, a lot more shockers in that sense. I did not do so well on the pick'ems, not well at all. And in fact, week 2 out of the 3 was Greg had the most picks correct in 8. So Greg, tell me one win that you picked that you felt pretty confident about in that game, and what you felt about it.
I didn't feel confident about many of them. I got half of them wrong, didn't I?
Yeah, you got 8 correct. I got 7.
I forgot to do
Well, it's
mine.
hard to know
I forgot
because, you know, I don't know. The Panthers are a huge disappointment, and I think Cam Newton is. I think he's done for. I think this new quarterback, that Kyle Allen, who actually started over, what's his name, Kyler Murray at Texas A&M. I don't understand.
Kyler Murray played in Oklahoma.
Well, yeah, I know he did.
Well,
okay, well,
I think
I read
I
something
think
today
that
about
if Cam would stop worrying about his fashion and wearing the most ridiculous clothes I've ever seen in my entire life, like RuPaul shit, then if he'd start focusing more on football, then he'd be a lot better situation. But that's just me.
Cam.
I mean, the guy comes in wearing the most insane, like, it's not even
Shaggy ass
It
Scots.
doesn't even look at all good.
Not Shaggy, Fred. Sorry.
And then the other
Greg, one game that you had picked that I didn't pick was the Packers and Vikings.
The Vikings.
I picked the Vikings to win that game.
Vikings are disgusting. The Vikings are a classic case of a team, you know. They have Kirk Cousins as a quarterback. And, you know, I kind of half-assed defended him last week, and I'm sorry for doing that because he's fucking garbage. I mean, the Vikings have one of the best all-around teams that is out there, and they're still no good. They'll be decent. They might fight for a wild card spot, but
If Kirk Cousins wasn't such a lovable guy, he would get bashed way more than he does. But I mean, me and Steven have been saying since he was at the Redskins that he's just average at best. You know, he can throw in a couple nice games, but when it counts, when you need him to put some points up on the board, and when the chips are against him, he doesn't play very well. So kudos for you for sticking with the Packers there.
I mean,
yeah, but the Vikings they've had the Packers number. Like they swept them last year. I want to say that. Yeah,
Packers
agreed.
Are a little different
but
this year.
I mean, they still have Aaron Rodgers.
Defense, you know, up to snuff.
Another thing, me and you both picked the Bengals to upset the 49ers, and that game
ugly.
didn't go anywhere close to what we thought it was going to be.
But I like that.
It was over before the first quarter.
He's a beast.
Yeah, John Ross finally decided to come on and play like he's been drafted for more than 3 years. That game was an embarrassment. That's probably my worst pick of the week was trying to pick the Bengals over the 49ers. I'm trying to think what else. Most of them, there weren't really any key upsets, you know, that we picked. We both picked the Saints and the Eagles to win. We both picked the Broncos to beat the Bears, which that game in itself was. I don't really know. How would you put that game?
I don't know what happened at all in it.
Oh, with the late field goal and things like that.
I try to.
The Broncos
don't exist. I hate the Broncos.
The Broncos scored like a late touchdown. They went for 2. There was a penalty called. They still went for 2, got it, and had a lead. And then the Bears just marched down the field, and then their kicker drills like a 56-yarder with no time left to win the game. And what was another putrid offensive output by Trubisky and whatnot. he's my starting quarterback for fantasy, and if he wasn't playing the Redskins this week, I would have dropped him.
Saints are kind of. I'm worried about them too. They're gonna play two
I think the Redskins
quarterbacks.
are gonna get their
Yeah.
first win.
Who is?
I think
Redskins.
the Redskins are gonna get their
Who
first
they play?
win. On
I think so too, but the
No.
Bears. It's the Redskins and Bears on Monday night.
at
What
Washington.
morons? What morons pick
It's gonna
that
be
game
6-3.
for a Monday night game?
Well,
Mm,
I think
I don't
you're
know.
being
The
a little
Redskins'
hard
defense
on
has been
Ty.
awful.
I think you're just being a little hard.
Redskins are decent.
I think the Redskins'
they've hung
defense
in
is
there with
awful.
two of the better teams in the
Two-
NFL. I never
so
thought
they
they were
say
as
two. I
bad
think
as
it's just
everyone
one.
says they are.
I don't think they're as bad as well. I think they're better than 3-13, which some people have been predicting them. But I mean, their season's
better
probably
than the
already done.
Giants.
They have had a tough schedule. I mean, the Eagles and Cowboys to start off, whereas the Cowboys have had the easiest schedule. They're going to jump out 3-0, no problem. Cowboys' first 3 game, Giants, Redskins, and then they play the Dolphins. Okay, they're going to jump out to a 3-0 lead, and then all the Cowboy fans are going to come out screaming Super Bowl champions when they haven't even played a college team yet. And I'm waiting for them to play the Patriots and just get the absolute crap kicked out of them. When is that?
Week 9 or 10. You know, the Patriots, they might not allow a fucking touchdown for like another 5 weeks. The
Hey,
first 8 weeks
They're,
are just an absolute train wreck. Like, I didn't even watch the last
I am-
Patriots game. I watched the first drive, and then I quit. I can't watch it. It's garbage. Watching them play the Dolphins. The NFL is such a shitty league right now.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
I mean,
Eh.
you got one guy that's getting
What do you mean,
$2 million watches and being an It's not.
It's better than watching the college teams play William St.
Oh,
Mary.
yeah, definitely.
Well, the Patriots playing the Dolphins is kind of like Clemson
Is-
playing William St. Mary.
That's as close as it's going to get.
Yeah, if
Do you think a college team? I know they say that this argument every year, and it's probably still no. But could a college team beat the
it'd
Dolphins?
be halfway competitive.
You march in Alabama and Clemson to play the Dolphins. Who's
Well,
going
there's
to win
more
that game?
first-round picks on Alabama and Clemson's teams than the freaking Dolphins have. So, I mean, I know they're a little bit further behind in their
That's-
development, but
The Dolphins win a nail biter, in my opinion. It's just tough for a college team to come in there and play against,
yeah, the
It'd be-
defensive
I think it'd be-
lines
I'd pay to watch it.
destroy the college teams. So, I don't think the Dolphins would hardly be able to score more than they do now against Bama or Clemson, though. But I think it would be hard for those
Hit
college
one
offenses
touchdown
to
on the
do
air.
what they want to do. I mean, Dolphins have
But
like a high-level cornerback. They have one of the best cornerbacks in the league.
Well, speaking of the Patriots defense, they have the defense has more touchdowns than 2 NFL teams. And do you know what those
Dolphins.
are? The Dolphins and who else? The
Bears.
Bears.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Bears have had 1 touchdown
The
so far
Bears.
this year.
Yeah, that big NFC North, that tough division. Vikings. I think Vikings
well,
they'll probably get rolling here. They probably have to get further
If
into
Kirk
the
Cousins just plays manageable, they'll be
Dalvin
fine.
Cook is a freaking
Steven-
madman. I love that dude.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully he stays healthy. Steven, what was one game from last week that stood out to you, good or bad?
I actually got the Saints game with Breeze getting hurt and like the effect it had on the entire team. Like just what happened. I just think it was.
What are you talking about? They
Granted,
sucked
they
before
were-
Breeze went out.
Well, I mean, they didn't.
It was still early on in the
suck.
game.
They were
You're
pretty
such
bad.
A compass asshole.
They 3 and out, and he
There's
threw in
one-
an
it's-
interception.
I understand that. His first game. All right? We're not Tom Brady. We're not the Patriots. Nobody else is. We get it. So it's hard for you to watch other football teams because you have such a dominant fucking team that you just can't not watch.
No,
teams without
it's
criticizing
there's
them.
so many bad
It's the
teams. I
second
could watch
week of
Dallas or.
football. God.
No, I get it.
Dallas. No, okay, Dallas is great.
But don't
You know
say
what?
the
Dallas
Saints
also
lost
plays
that
the
game.
Redskins and the
Don't
Eagles.
say the Saints lost that
They-
game
they-
because of freaking Drew
Giants.
Brees going out. They looked like shit before that. The Rams were going to
No,
kick the fuck
I
out
didn't
of them
say that.
anyway.
No,
I didn't
yeah.
say they lost that game solely because I said it was hard. You could see the effect that he has.
Yeah.
And then what
one of the
happened with
best
Teddy
quarterbacks
Bridgewater
of all
came
time.
in?
I mean, it's gonna be a
Dickhead.
problem.
I'm watching the Rams, and the Rams have a great defense playing against them. I mean, it shut them. They were completely confused. They had a game plan set straight for Drew Brees, and Teddy Bridgewater comes in, and you could tell it had a massive effect. Now next week we'll see what happens when they have a game plan set for Teddy Bridgewater, and they're going to run 2 quarterbacks and all whatever
It's
might
gonna
be
be a
the case.
train wreck.
But I don't think that they're as terrible as everybody else says. We go through this every week. If all the terrible teams beat the shittier teams, then that terrible team has to be a good team.
Well,
You know what I
the
mean?
Saints have a really good defensive line, one of the best. Their secondary
Yeah,
is very,
okay.
below
and
average.
When you have a quarterback get thrown in there for no reason because his other quarterback is hurt and he's like wasn't
No, I
planning on
agree.
playing
They'll look
today,
better than
tomorrow,
they
or
did
the
this
week
week,
after
and
that.
you're not going to play the Rams every week. They're still better than pretty much every NFL team, but that's
Exactly.
just there's so many bad
But
teams.
they're no Patriots,
It's
I get it.
disgusting.
It's there's only like what 2 good teams, and that's the Chiefs, especially if Jalen Ramsey comes in, and the Patriots. All other teams are inferior, and I mean,
No,
it's just
I like
not-
the I like the
that's
Saints.
That's what you
I like
sound
the Rams. I like the Packers. I like
But they're not.
I like
but they're
the-
inferior because they
I like
won't
the
win. They suck.
Seahawks. I like the Falcons. I like the Eagles.
That's too many teams. You
No,
can't like
I'm
that many
saying I
teams.
like them
You
as
can
far
like
as
2.
good teams. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
The
I
Eagles are not a
agreed
good
with
team.
you.
The Eagles are not a
Even
Well, yeah.
Even
the
if
way
Breeze
they
did play the whole
they
game,
look great.
it's definitely no guarantee that the Saints win. Okay, they weren't playing well with Breeze in there, but that's not saying that they definitely would have lost if he would have continued playing.
Okay, well,
Right.
let's look at the first.
Especially-
let's look at the first game they played and how shitty they did. In the second half, they came in, and he rallied and came back and won. He didn't play
Yeah.
the second half. He got hurt the second quarter. Therefore,
Yeah.
anything could have happened. They probably could have won. They were probably in a much better position to win with him as opposed to Teddy Bridgewater.
And the negated fumble recovery, didn't help things either.
Yeah, that's
Um,
yeah.
as goes to Cameron Wade calling them Foot Locker employees at the end of the game.
I mean, that's
But yeah, I agree with Steven. That is probably the most impressionable game in Week 2 and what it can do and the rippling effect it could cause into the rest of the league, the rest of the division. With Breeze being out, they're saying at least 6 weeks. I'm not saying the Saints are done for because, I mean, obviously it's still too early and he's going to come back. If they go 3-3 in that stretch, and they do have kind of a tough schedule coming up in those 6 games, but if they can go 500 and Breeze comes out and they're 4-5 or 5-6, I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, but they can't. They can only lose like one more game after that. I don't know what their schedule looks like, but I mean,
Yeah.
that's gonna be tough sledding. If they win,
What's the
3 other
schedule now? It's
games,
like-
I don't know. My bet would be that they maybe win 2 out of 6. That's best.
Well, if they
case.
win 3 of their next 3, they'll be 4-4.
yeah, that's all right.
Okay, so then they just need to go 6-2 in the last 8, which is doable because they'll still have the Bucks twice, and they'll still have the Panthers twice, and they'll still have the Falcons twice, and I don't know who all else. I know the next coming 6 weeks is like the Cowboys, Seahawks, Cardinals, Colts. It's man. They have 3 tough games that they're probably going to lose, and they have 3 very winnable games. So, like I said, going 3-3
They play
in
the
that
Seahawks,
stretch.
then the Cowboys. I mean, that's going to be a beautiful start. Then they play the Bucks, which they could definitely
Yeah.
win that. The Jaguars, which they might be porked on
Yeah.
that one. I mean,
And
I
who
was,
else?
the Jaguars are going to lose tonight.
we're gonna have to see with how these quarterbacks do. I don't know about Teddy.
Yeah, we'll see how good of a coach Sean Payton is, because he can't rely on
I really
on
think
Drew Brees
you
because
need
he's
a
not
Drew
there.
Brees to run this team, though. You need someone like Drew Brees. Like they have, the Saints don't have much threats. They have Michael Thomas, which is really good, but he's like a short yardage game, which means you have to be quick with the ball. And you see with these young quarterbacks, these guys
Alvin
that
Kamara?
they can't get rid of the ball fast enough. That's why so many teams suck because they,
What about Alvin
yeah,
Kamara?
Kamara. He's not a deep threat though.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but you got him to do a decent job carrying and getting that short passes. But yeah, the line is still terrible, and they can't just throw to Kamara in
Jared
flat
Cook looks,
and hope for the
so
best.
He hasn't really.
Yeah.
I don't know if he hasn't been targeted.
Did you see the fall he took though? If he
Oh, really?
might be out. Yeah, because he fell, landed right on his
Ted
neck.
Ginn.
Like it-
Like, I haven't seen him make a play since the Fiesta Bowl against Notre Dame.
and they still have they have Kenny Stills. They have Kenny Stills too. I mean, they do have playmakers, but I mean, it's still Teddy Bridgewater.
I mean, when you lose one of the best quarterbacks in the game, then you're gonna take a significant drop off, and they haven't looked very great to start off. But it's early, like Steven said.
Yeah,
Saints are a really solid team. I'm not trying to be down.
The defense is gonna have to step up.
I don't think they're the freaking overwhelming Super Bowl favorite team that everyone thought they were gonna be. But they're up there.
The Rams look good.
I consider them a diesel, and you have to turn them on and warm up the glow plugs, and then let it get going, and then they start powerhousing and run through fucking.
I consider them a team that they don't have their power running back, that they have a giant threat on the field at all times, and Kamara, he's not going to be a threat every single down.
He can't, Well, he can't be a workhorse.
But without Breeze, the diesel is
it's more on him.
The Saints had to score 40 points a game last year to win most of their games, and they won a lot of their games by 6 points or less, and they're not going to be able to do that again. You know what I mean? Without Breeze.
Well, what do you guys think about the Rams for that game?
They look good.
Do you think they look good, or they're just product of playing the Saints? I mean, I thought they looked good. Goff is a different guy at home. He plays much better at home. They also, like the Saints, came off to kind of a slow, sluggish start. But like come halftime or near halftime, they kind of turned it on and they looked real good. Gurley looked well. All the receivers looked good. Cook and Kupp and Roberts. And the defense was
Robert Woods.
Stout. Like, I mean, yeah, Robert Woods. The Ravens look good. I'm just gonna leave it at that. They're looking like the NFC contender right now.
Their team is so good.
As long as Breeze is out.
You know how I feel about Goff. He looked pretty good though in that game.
Yeah.
The passes I saw from him, he's pretty accurate. But
he's a different guy at home.
When you get to the playoffs, it's a whole different thing. The game changes, and Goff can't play under that pressure. They ran for frickin' 400 yards. That's how they made it to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He just got to be a game maintenance, whatever you want to call it.
See how well Kirk Cousins does shit like that. So.
Yeah, and if Goff was on the Vikings, they'd probably win that division. So, any other games stuck out to you? And any games that any teams disappointed in their effort?
The Dolphins.
Yeah. I didn't see any of it. But
it's sad. 2 weeks in a row, they've scored 13 points in 2 weeks or whatever it was. Like that's
10.
I thought they had 10. Yeah, I thought they had 10 last week. Yeah, so that's
they had 0 this week.
That's tough. But
yeah,
they play Dallas this week, so that's another 40+ point game. Like,
yeah,
boy, I feel bad for Andrew. Being a Redskins fan is tough, but watching a team get, boy, I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not going to jinx the Redskins because anything can happen.
What do you think about that?
Yeah. I think my surprise was the Vikings, just the way that they came out real slow. I mean, the Packs had, 14, 16 points before they can blink an eye. Cook ran for, 120, 130 yards. The defense played pretty well. It's just Cousins just played absolutely awful. He lost the game for him, and if he would have put forth an average game, the Vikings are walking out of there with a win. But instead, they lose, and
how much are they paying that?
That's kind of shocking on my part. 96 is his total contract.
4 years,
like 21 a year, something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
Sucks.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Sucks trying to find a quarterback.
Yeah, that's the name of the game.
Does it?
If you don't have
a quarterback, Greg.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had to look for a quarterback?
Oh, just settle down. One day, we'll get a new quarterback, and the problem is all these other teams they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, I mean, not everyone can be Bill Belichick, but there's other good organizations that run it well.
Not only just
well.
have Bill Belichick, you gotta have a front office. Redskins is a dumpster fire. Their owner doesn't trust anybody or wants to have too much involved, and they just hire. It just I really don't know all of how bad it is, but it's not.
It's not great. Yeah.
And,
I think Cowboys and Patriots.
Hopefully,
are
they have their quarterback
that are very well run.
Hopefully, Haskins is. Hopefully, Haskins is the guy. I mean, we do this every 4 or 5 years, and then we just get destroyed. We just mentally destroyed because we're proven right. Like, with this guy we thought was a guy, either gets hurt or he just doesn't ever pan out.
So, how many games do the Skins have to lose before they throw Haskins in there? So at a certain point, you have nothing.
I think once they
get your young guy in.
Yeah.
Well,
they start 0-4, 0-5, which is a pretty good possibility.
But it's not. But here,
I mean, you can throw him in there.
But here's the thing, though. It's not like Case Keenum is playing bad.
No.
He's not playing bad at all.
No, he's not.
He's throwing deep balls. He's looking good.
Yeah, he's played well.
It's just that we don't have Trent Williams is out, and we have no cornerbacks, and we have this and that.
The defense.
The question is Case Keenum going to be your future quarterback? You draft a guy in the first round, he's going to be your future quarterback. So how long do you fuck around trying to be a 6 or 7 win team just because this quarterback's marginally better?
Well, you don't want to throw him in there and get him gun shy.
Yeah,
you don't want to David Carr.
Won 3 games his first year. Goff was dog shit his first year.
Peyton Manning is a different breed.
I mean, you gotta get him.
Peyton Manning is a different breed.
Well, yeah. But.
Anyway, though, but it's kind of like Daniel Jones. So you come in, you're like, oh, we're going to sit this guy. Eli's our guy. We're going to let him. He's going to be on the bench for a year. We're going to let him get in. He's going to break in. He's going to get used to it, and then we're going to put him in next year.
He's going to be good.
And they're 0-2. They're 0-2.
I don't think so.
And they've already put Eli on the bench and started Daniel Jones.
Exactly. I think they're starting him too soon.
No, if they should have just committed. Like, same with last year with Jets. They put Sam Darnold in there. They know the season is useless. They're rebuilding. So the only way to do it is just throw in your rookie quarterback and let him just go to town.
You gotta do it because if you're a bad team,
I believe it takes
especially one of the worst.
And you are. All this is just
you are. What's the difference
of practicing in the NFL?
If he's not ready, if the quarterback's not ready for it, and they lose every goddamn game, at least that sets you up to get another quarterback. You find out if he's gonna be good enough or not, rather than be in the middle of the pack with Case Keenum.
You put him in, and you.
I'll take middle of the pack every day.
He just pretty much gets those reps. Those, like you get a year of experience, and because you're not at least you're doing something productive, and that's putting your
I still think
in to see how well he can.
It takes a certain guy to throw in there to just get the crap kicked out of him, get his licks in before he's right. Some guys can't do that. David Carr, the first one, he wasn't one of those. I think he got in there to a crappy Houston team, and he lost his mojo, and he could just never recover. Same thing with Ryan Leaf. He just kind of got in there. Part of his personality was the problem, but he got in there and he didn't win very many games. He kind of got fed to the dogs, and throw that in with every other Browns quarterback. They just get the skips.
But Ty, if they can't have that, and that's gonna completely take him out of the sport, then that's not the guy you want anyway. I mean, you know what I mean? Like the Tom Brady's of the world, they don't. Their
right.
It's not broken. If you're gonna be a winning quarterback, you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I said, it takes a special guy that can kind of do that. Some guys, I think, if you'd wait just a little longer, like Aaron Rodgers, who knows what would happen if they threw him to the dogs in year 1 without Brett Favre?
Maybe he. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he might have been just fine because they had a pretty good team around him at the time, but. I mean, it kind of sucks to get thrown into the last place team like Baker. I don't think Baker would have been able to hack it to go 1-15.
Baker's a sober Johnny Manziel. That's all Baker is.
We don't know if he's sober or not.
Well, okay.
If he goes 1-15, Baker I think implodes and does a bad job. Luckily, he came in, they played well. He had a better team around him than Manziel did, and most of the other Browns quarterbacks, and he's gotten a better team around him, and I think that's gonna.
He's a showboat.
Plug into his success,
he spent the entire offseason doing commercials and building his brand, building himself,
mowing the yard,
instead of concentrating on what he needed to do best. And he's surrounded by Odell, who is a worthless sack of shit who got a $2.2 million wristwatch, sponsorship, and they're all about themselves. They're all egotistical, and they don't. It's not.
What do you mean a
worthless
sack of
It's about
shit?
them. Well, I'm talking.
They look good on Monday.
I'm not talking about like not. Yeah, I'm talking about like him he's one of these watches to be cute about it, and then he get into only he would get a $2.2 million endorsement deal with a watch company to wear a watch during the game.
Well, of course.
Well.
It's not about team. It's about him. It's individual.
Any press is good
It's
press
like,
for them, you know?
well, yeah, and you know what? A lot of it, it's not doing anything. It's not helping him out. It's not making them a better team. It's giving this guy more recognition, and then he gets jealous, and then this guy goes over here, he gets more recognition, and then here come, it's like, I think they're all just everybody for themselves, and that's not going to ever do anything good for them. That's why Cleveland is in.
They did look. I think they looked good on Monday.
No, they
Sure, it was
they're
against the
not-
Jets.
They're
they're
going to be a
lot better.
dynamite team. They're better than the Vikings, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
they
take
just
Baker
need time.
Mayfield over Kirk
Yeah,
Cousins.
that'd be a good game.
I think they get a slow start, and then they finish strong. I mean,
We'll see what they do next week. You guys know who their next opponent
But
is?
They get Kareem Hunt back in week 8, so
Yeah. I don't know if they can make it. Well, we'll see how good the Rams are next week. You know who they play next week?
well, not the Rams or Browns, and I don't know.
Nope, they play the Rams at home.
Browns do.
Well, that's stupid.
Yep, the Browns do.
That'd be a good game.
Sunday night. I think it'll be a good game, too.
Browns need to
Especially if
clean
the
it
Browns
up a
played like
little
they
bit,
did. Yeah, Myles Garrett was all over the place. They said he had the most penalties of any
He had-
defensive
he
lineman
had him
last
last
year
year.
because he tries to time the jump and he gets off sides about 20% of the time. But
You ain't cheating, you ain't
let's
trying.
move on to week 3. Yeah. Let's move on to week 3. I don't know if you guys made your picks yet, but each of you go into a game that you are excited to watch. Who you think you're gonna win? Who's gonna win? And why? Why you're excited to watch it? So, Steven, if you want to go, if you're ready.
What game I'd like to go watch this? Like,
That you're excited to watch, and you're excited. What you're excited to see out of it?
I'm the Redskins Bears game. I think that they compare very close together. I mean, especially right now. I mean, like you said, I don't think the Redskins are that bad, but I really truthfully think the Redskins can pull off a win. They're playing in Washington. It's a Monday night game. The Bears have looked like crap the last 2 weeks. Well, more last week than the week before. But and the Redskins have put up points. They're scoring. Like, they played good football in the first half, and then it's like the second half they just like forget to what they were doing in the first half, and that's when everybody starts to come back. Like you saw it just as much as I did. The Eagles did the same thing the Cowboys did, but if they can just figure that out and just play the same football on both sides the entire game, I think we get the first one from the Bears. And I'm excited to watch it because I think
I'm optimistic about them.
yeah, I think that it should be a nice first signature win Monday night.
It's a game they need to win. If they even want to
Case Keenum is
think
a
about,
better quarterback than Mitch Trubisky, and we have a better team. I think. I don't know. Well,
overall,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Okay, so you think Redskins going to pull it out Monday night? That's. All
for
right,
me,
Greg. What
as
about
far
you?
as, straight entertainment value, I think the Ravens and Chiefs.
that will be a good one
But
too.
Yeah, that's
But
going to
also,
be.
I'm thinking the
It should
Rams
be
and
a-
the Browns because there's so much, implications behind that.
Yeah.
It really is about
I
both.
think the Ravens Chiefs is going to be like 75-60.
Yeah, it might.
The only bad thing, it is in Kansas City, so that doesn't help the Ravens. But the Ravens their defense looks pretty good. We'll see how Lamar Jackson plays, and just to see if he can, if what he's been doing is for real or not. And we'll see. I'm sure the Chiefs are going to do what the Chiefs have been doing. So we'll see if he can keep up. If the Ravens keep it close and they lose by 7 or 3, or it's a close scoring game. I mean, you got to move the Ravens up to win that division, especially with what's happened at Big Ben.
That's sad. I think you were right, Greg, earlier when you said, I believe we've seen him play his last football game.
Yep.
I think he retires. It's time.
I don't know, you see how, I think his head gets 4 inches wider by the day, too. I swear he's got the biggest head I've ever
Swelling.
seen.
It's the swelling.
One game I'm interested in. You guys didn't clue in on. Are you
Dallas
guys?
and Dolphins? Uh-huh.
No, where was it? Dang it. The Houston, the Texans and Chargers
yeah,
game.
that'll be good.
I think that's gonna be. Well,
Chargers are-
I got to pick some game that you guys haven't. Okay, but these are two good teams. They're both gonna be fighting for a playoff spot. Both of them lost last week after winning the week before in close fashion, and they both kind of come out and late. Well, no, Houston lost week 1, but then they barely won last week, and the Chargers, laid an egg this last week against the Lions. It's going to be in L.A. Let's see. I mean, if the Texans have figured out their defensive problems, I mean, they're going to have their hands full with this offense from the Chargers with Eckler and Keenan Allen and Phillip Rivers
Keenan
and things
Allen
like
been
that.
hurt,
And
or what's
we'll
been
see.
going on with him?
He has been hurt in a couple years. Like his first rookie year, he was really good, and then his second year, he came out and was hurt a lot. But he's on my fantasy team. He's been healthy. He's getting me like 18 points these first 2 weeks total each. So, and like I said, it's a decent offense. It just runs through those three guys, though. So if you can stop them, you can stop the Chargers. But the same thing with the Texans. If you can keep Deshaun Watson, if you can keep him in check and keep Hopkins under 50 yards, kind of like what Jacksonville did last week, you can pull out a win, I think. So that's a game I'm going to keep my eye on just for entertainment value. I think it'll be good. But I'm gonna have the.
It's gonna be ugly with Houston's offensive line
I have
and San Diego, or not San Diego, but the Chargers' defensive line being so good. It's gonna be miserable that way.
I got the Texans winning that one. So and kind of an upset, I believe.
Upset.
So
what about the Chargers? Has told you that they are very good.
I mean, so far they're being picked 59% of the time. They're at home. What's the line? I haven't had the line come out yet.
Who the Texans play this week?
The
Jags, yeah.
The Texans, the Chargers, yeah. So, the Thursday night game just kicked off. I got the Titans. I think you guys both have the Titans
I have
as well,
the Jags.
right?
Oh, of course you do.
You got the Jags.
I don't know. I think Cleveland just had a rough first week. Mariota is,
I can see that.
He's in the Kirk Cousins category.
But the Jaguars are unstable as well, and I feel like out of the two unstable teams, Titans have a better shot. At least they have a quarterback who's tried. I feel
like
the Titans
Minshew, though.
Because here's the thing, though. Titans always lose to the Colts, but they always beat the Jaguars.
Yeah.
It's like they have their number.
Oh yeah.
So,
for sure.
But I don't. Like I said, I don't think Jacoby Brissett is anything, and I think it was a good game towards the end or whatever, but yeah, the Titans are meh, but I think that they actually have a chance of
the Colts beat them, didn't they?
Jaguar. Yeah, right towards the end. It was actually
Colts aren't a bad team,
No, they weren't a bad team. They have Andrew Luck, but their team is
If
built
you were
around
the
them.
Vikings, would you rather have Kirk Cousins or Jacoby Brissett?
Jacoby Brissett. Why? Because I already know that Kirk Cousins can't do the job.
Yeah, Jacoby might.
At least, it's like a, we throw him in there, see what happens, But it's proven that Kirk can't do it.
And who's I don't know anything about the Vikings coaches other than Zimmer, but I don't know if he's an offensive guy or a defensive guy, or if they have.
Zimmer's the offense coordinator, I think.
No, I thought
He's the head coach. Did he call
he's the
plays
head
too,
coach.
or what?
I don't know. I don't know nothing about
No, I think Mike Zimmer was the offensive coordinator.
I thought he was the head
Was
coach.
it?
But
And who do you
Hold on.
think's the head coach, Ty?
I can see his face. I just can't see his name. Well, Mike Zimmer is the head coach. Who am I thinking of?
Yeah.
The dude that used to coach the Chargers.
North Turner.
North Turner. He's the offense coordinator, isn't he?
Ty,
I have no
I
idea.
think you have amnesia, Ty. First you
I
put
did have a
Chad
concussion
Greenway
the
in
other
your
day.
top 5 linebackers, and now North Turner still coaches. He's coaching for the Chargers now.
No, he used to coach.
He was at one
He used
point.
to coach
okay.
the Redskins.
Yeah, no.
Is he in the
Gary
league?
Kubiak is the offensive coordinator / advisor. No, he's the
Where
assistant
did
head
Kubiak
coach
come from?
and offensive advisor.
Texans.
He used to coach the Broncos and the Texans. Offensive coordinator is Kevin Stefanski.
Okay. Can we move on? Nobody cares.
Yeah, we can. Any other thoughts on week 3? Have you guys made your picks
Yeah, I
yet?
have.
I made my squeeze mine in because I forgot last week.
Okay. Well, currently I am winning for the year. Greg won last week. We already went through that. So we're going to go into college. Any surprises from last week that you guys want to go
I'm
over?
surprised the Iowa State game finished.
That was
That was a brutal,
that was hard.
brutal for
I
Iowa
felt
State.
so
That was
bad
the
for
most
that kid.
Tennessee way to lose.
Yes, but speaking of Iowa State, I'm sure you guys have seen my Bush Light supplies needs replenished. You know, Venmo.
Yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
he made up to like $50-something thousand, but then
And donated it.
But then
And the Jaguars just scored a
But
touchdown
then Venmo
to Oshag Hennessy.
Okay, so then Venmo
Told
said
you.
they would done that, and who was it? You guys just not even paying attention. I can't think of it. I mean, it was train of thought.
The Bush Latte guy.
Oh yeah, Bush. It was Bush. It was not Bush Latte guy. It was a guy in the crowd that had a sign up that said, "A Bush Light needs replenishing. Venmo me, like Carson King or whatever."
Yeah.
And he ended up making $200, and it went up to like this and this. When it ended off at 50-something thousand, and Anheuser-Busch and Venmo matched it, so he was able to donate over $150,000 to the rival school children's hospital. It was a big story when I was on Scott Bell, but that was like the highlight of that game day, because the game was awful. Iowa was losing the entire game, and then with like minutes left in the game, they fall ass backwards into a win, just like Florida does. And I felt so bad for that punt returner, or the kid that hit his own player. Boy,
laid him out.
I bet he got.
Dude, it wasn't even a hit. It was all the way out.
Like
he
with, like suitcases or pillowcases full of soap in the locker room, just whipping them.
it was tough. But the thing is, they were still down by one. The Iowa State would still have to drive the majority of the field to win the game. Okay, so I mean, it's not like they were winning and then they fumbled it and then Iowa scored an easy field goal in the seconds to win it. They still had to go down and score. So I mean, it was terrible to lose that way, but it wasn't the end. It wasn't like it reminded me of Tennessee when they were playing LSU a few years ago, and they stopped LSU on 4th and goal on like the one when Jamarcus Russell was still the quarterback, and they had 2 men on the field, and they had to do it again, and LSU scored. That sucks. That's a way to lose. But I mean, I still feel for Iowa State.
The Vikings
that's tough
Cardinals
to
in the playoffs, or to get into the playoffs.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago, though.
Yeah, with Gary Anderson. I just go recent college football. But sorry.
I mean, there were some good games this weekend for sure. There was the rain delay. They had 2 rain delays. Like that was the game I looked forward to watching.
Game day was there, which was exciting.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're there, you just were drinking or do whatever. But that was a game I looked forward to watching.
Iowa was favored by 1.5, and I took Iowa State to get that. And they only lost by a point, so that worked out. Other than that, I didn't watch any of the game, but I tried to tune in, and it was rain delay. 2 hours later, it's rain delay. I'm like, I don't care anymore.
Most of Saturday went as scheduled, except for BYU upsetting USC, which I don't want to talk much about, and Michigan State losing to Arizona State, both ranked teams being upset.
Arizona State's defense is incredible.
Yeah, Herm Edwards.
Who coaches them? Herm Edwards. That's right. Who still coaches them? That's nice. That's cool.
His second year.
This week, we have a couple more marquee matchups. So, Greg, I know which game you're interested in watching. So why don't you tell us about that and what you're looking forward to?
What's that? Who's gonna?
Georgia. You heard me.
No, I thought you said Georgia's a name like someone like on their team.
I said Georgia's gonna beat.
Yeah, Greg.
Ass. Just like Florida's gonna beat Tennessee's ass.
It won't be as bad as
simple.
You'd think. I don't think it'll be like a blowout.
I don't think so.
Or anything.
This is the first time they're playing in Georgia, right? Like,
why don't you just let Greg with his
thought? Why don't you just let me and Greg
talk? I think
talk,
week one Notre Dame looked terrible, and I mean, Louisville, their defense played better than I expected them to. This last week, obviously they're gonna kick the shit out of. I don't even remember who they played, but we don't know yet either, and Georgia hasn't played anybody yet either. And I don't know. I'd rather play them now than week 10.
Yeah, that's true.
It actually will be a good game, I do believe. I just think Georgia is. I mean, they don't get any. They've gotten better. They were good last year. Same with Notre Dame. I feel like that's definitely the game of the week for sure.
Yeah, it'll be Notre Dame at number 3 Georgia. They're giving Georgia 14.5 points to win, which
can't blame them for.
I guess seems about right.
You can't blame them for setting it like that.
Being at home,
they're going to
do it.
Puke fest.
Yeah. Another interesting game in college is going to be Michigan at Wisconsin. Michigan didn't play last week, did they? They had a bye week.
Michigan's gonna get no. They lost or they won in overtime against like Air Force or something.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago that they barely beat. 2 weeks ago they barely beat Air Force in double overtime. So I don't know if they played last week, but they're going to
Wisconsin's
Wisconsin.
Gonna kick the shit out of them. It's not even. I don't know. I don't think Michigan's very good. I really don't.
No, they're always over.
Wisconsin's 3.5 point favorites. They're going to be at home. They're 13. Michigan's 11. It's going to be good. I'm with you guys. I think Wisconsin just going to do what they always do: run the ball, control the clock. Have good
Jonathan
defense.
Taylor's like the next Todd Gurley and Melvin Gordon.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
We can look forward to him holding out on his team in 3 years from now, or 4 years.
Good thing home improvement's been canceled. I'm trying to think of the other game. Auburn at Texas A&M. Auburn is 8 and Texas A&M is 17. They're giving Texas A&M 3.5 points with the win. I think that I take that action.
What high school team is Bama playing this week?
Home team gets 3 points.
They are playing Brett Favre's high school team.
What?
Mississippi? Southern
No.
Miss?
Southern Miss, very good. Yes. Guess what the point spread on that is?
47.
Greg?
Alabama and who?
Southern Miss.
Southern Miss.
I'd say 40.5.
38.5. So, other than that, a lot of snoozers. LSU at Auburn, Florida at Tennessee, which they're only giving Florida 14 points.
That's because their quarterback's done.
Felipe Frank is out. It doesn't matter. They could throw anybody at quarterback, and they're still going to beat Tennessee.
What happened to him?
Very predictable.
He dislocated his ankle.
Oh, that sounds unpleasant.
And then Kentucky had the game in hand. They won. They were winning the entire game, winning, and then all of a sudden, we're going to and then they pissed it down their leg.
I can't imagine dislocating.
Arizona State is ranked 24th after beating Michigan State, and they'll take on the Buffs of Colorado.
Hey, those guys look good too.
Colorado's been up on the rise. Early 2000s they weren't very good at all, but the last 4 or 5 years they've been at the top. Competing pretty well. Clemson plays Charlotte, so that's 41.5 points. So there's only a few top 25 matchups to look forward to this week. So
the Tennessee-Florida game could end up being a good game. It really could. We're just gonna go in dramatic fashion. I'm gonna get a little hope in my hands, and then they're gonna, like you said, they're gonna beat themselves. The Notre Dame Georgia game is by far the best game of the week.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's at Georgia too. It's gonna be a nightmare.
Is it Saturday night?
Yeah,
Saturday night, 7:00. Yep. Yeah. I'm with you guys. That game will be good, and the Michigan-Wisconsin game. It'll be a nice. We're finally in the swing of football things. We're getting good competition football. All the cupcake games are through. It's good.
Well, for everybody but Alabama.
Morning to night, great football that's about to be played. So it's good in the swing of things. So okay, so we talked about Iowa State. That was a tearjerker. Interested to see how they come out next week. I just thought who Iowa was playing. I think they might have a bye. And then Iowa State is probably playing like
Oklahoma State.
UL Monroe.
Oh.
So that'll be a nice win to come back on. And Iowa has a bye. So, all right. Anything else you guys want to add on the college football segment?
No. We'll talk more about that Monday when Tennessee wins.
If they win, all is forgiven. You chalk it up to a winning season in my book. You can start putting Pruitt Avenue downtown Knoxville if you want.
I'm gonna hang up.
I don't care.
I'm gonna hang up a sign and say we want Bama, but then we'll just get them in about 4 weeks anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
I don't care. We can retire retire everybody's jersey when they beat Florida.
Yeah, everybody's true. That's
In-
it. Take the rest of the year off. We won. We're
In Gainesville.
which
Even though they should have beat them last time in Gainesville with that stupid Hail Mary.
which we haven't beat. We haven't won in Gainesville since 2000.
That's a way to lose. That's a way to lose, Iowa State. Have the win in your crust. You're about to win 2 in a row after losing 11, and then Hail Mary time, and it just falls right in Duke. And I'm not going to go through that again. And we're back. So that's it with football, I think. Greg Road made an interesting question. What's a better game to watch, Sunday night or Monday night? Greg, I'll let you jumpstart with that.
Sunday.
Why?
Collinsworth, for one thing.
Yeah.
I miss Dan Patrick.
What?
I miss Dan Patrick being on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Well, my thing is,
Pass it up.
you got all football all day long. You're at home. You're not doing anything, and then like you got like the last game of the day. Like it's usually a good game too. Like Mondays is always something going on. It's busy. It's hard to get home and watch the game, and I just feel I think Sunday night's the best night.
Sunday is usually better games, it seems like.
Yeah.
Monday is kind of like
Yeah.
throwing,
Yeah.
some dogs a bone. It's better than Thursday night, that's for
Yeah.
sure, though.
Yeah. I mean, Thursday nights are always division games, and yeah, they just pick
I like
bad
the
games
build-up,
no
though.
matter
You have football day, then it starts to wind down. You get all the highlights, then all of a sudden it's like,
Yeah.
you get
Last
Collinsworth
game,
in there,
yeah.
and I love that dude. So
Yeah. I like his little chair slide.
I miss John
it's
Gruden,
like-
though. On
John
Mondays.
Gruden's good.
Let me tell you about this guy. I love
Boy,
this guy.
this guy is a real athlete.
Gruden guy.
Boy, I tell you.
Knock on wood.
The only bad thing about Sunday night, though, is the game's over and you go to bed and you gotta wake up.
I
to
work every day, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I know, but at least Sundays you're off, you're watching TV, and then you're like,
I watch a lot.
oh, man, after this game,
I watch the
gotta-
Red Zone on my phone. The Red Zone is like the best thing on earth. Like, yeah.
For fantasy.
If I die and there's a heaven,
I'm on my
I'll
fantasy
be
app.
watching the Red Zone like all day long, and there's always gonna be a game on.
Keep that on picture on your tombstone. Yes, I am on my fantasy app from about 12:05 to about 10 o'clock at night on Sundays. It is just rolling. I need to look at my stats on my phone to see how long I actually am on there. But I keep up with it. I'm refreshing it. I'm following point by point. It's nerve wracking, but I wouldn't like that. I don't understand the people that play fantasy that check it like once Sunday night.
Yeah, some
mean,
people
there's nothing you
aren't
can do about it.
competitive, I guess, either.
But there's nothing you can do about it. So,
Yeah, but
I
I'm
mean,
just always like,
I
what's
do
going
too.
on?
I don't check it. It's not constantly on. I'm checking it like every. It's pretty. It's not like it stays on the entire
Well, if
day.
it's a blowout and I'm up by like 30 or 40, yeah, then I may set it down for like an hour or so. But if it's neck and neck, like me and Greg were a couple weeks ago, or my dad and I were this week, I'm checking it all the time. I see so and so just got a reception. I got to see how far back I am now. And now this year they've added the percentages of winning onto the ESPN thing, so that's always constantly moving. I'm watching that more than anything.
Yeah, and when we drafted, it projected me to be 7th out of eight teams. I'm 0-2 right now, but my projection went from 7th to 2nd. Can you explain that?
Well, you kind of got shafted too, because I had a really good
You
week
scored
week one,
164
and
points.
then
Dirty dog.
yeah, like I said, a really good week, and then you were scheduled to win until Julio got that long, like 60-yard touchdown to finish the game off, and that just kind of
No, he's on my team,
Put-
so
put
he brought me back into it. Cause
who did he have?
he had Odell.
He had
yeah,
Odell.
and Odell had a 90-yard
Yeah.
touchdown.
Had like 25 points.
Odell.
Yeah, that
Good.
that's just the way it goes sometimes, though. I mean, it's still week
I don't
two.
care.
If you're 0-2 in your fantasy league,
I'll get in the playoffs and beat you fucking.
Yeah.
ass.
like Greg's saying, I'm gonna not put so elegantly, but if you're 0-2 in your fantasy team, just take a simmer. Look how you lost. If you've lost because your team's just been blown out and the two other teams, your opponents have had really good
See,
weeks, just
the team I drafted, I knew it
shrug
would
your
be a slow
shoulders.
starter, but I drafted for the end of the
Yeah.
year instead of the beginning.
if your opponent scores over 140 points, you shrug your shoulders and you move on next week. That's just bad luck. There's nothing you can do about it. if you just didn't play the right guys and your starters all laid an egg while people on your bench scored 25 points, that's something you can work on. You just got to make sure I'm picking the right guys. But if you're getting blown out because they're having good weeks, there's nothing you can do about that.
This week,
sometimes that's the case.
Last week, I didn't start just Deshaun Jackson, and then he had like 35 fantasy points. This week, I start him. I'm like, all right, well, get something like that. 0. He played like 1 snap. So that's what screwed me this week. I knew I shouldn't have trusted that guy. Never have his whole career.
Jacksonville just scored another touchdown. Jacksonville's up 13-0, pending a field goal.
Well, look whose predictions coming out pretty well so far.
So far. Yeah.
My predictions have been pretty bad so far this year.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Like I said, it's
still
still early, fantasy-wise, NFL-wise, but it's been good. I'm glad to have football back. And actually, guess what starts in 3 weeks, guys? Hockey.
Started already.
In 3 weeks.
You want to watch preseason?
Well, yeah, preseason. Preseason started. I can't watch preseason. That's just too hard. But yeah, when regular season hockey starts, I'm all in. It's something even better to add on to football, which
on your Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Sports makes everything life better. Exactly. You have another fantasy league. Maybe if you guys are actually playing at this time, one of the listeners want to join in, that'd be nice too. So, anything else you guys want to add sports-wise?
No.
Good.
Any bold predictions? Any bold fantasy predictions you want to put out, or
well,
busts?
I don't know if you consider Arizona beating the Panthers a bold prediction, then.
I think I picked the Panthers to win that game.
I think I picked Arizona to win because I think it's a dumpster fire there. Cam Newton is probably going to be more obsessed with what suit he's going to wear that doesn't have any.
Actually, I think Cam's not even going to be playing. I think he's hurt.
Yeah. See,
if he doesn't
play, they probably will be better. I think Cam Newton's dog shit, and he's probably. I don't know. I would not be happy with it.
If Cam doesn't play, I'm going to change it. But if he plays, I'm going to keep it on Carolina. I think they're definitely going to be desperate. I think they're going to be able to win. And the Cardinals just haven't looked that good, I mean, to be given wins quite yet. So.
Well, they have a quarterback who's played 2 games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't have, automatic win yet.
Yeah.
But they have played
gotta settle down
well.
In there.
They've been in games. Yeah, they've been in games. They played well. I mean, I'll give them that. But Steven, any predictions or busts for you, fantasy-wise, NFL-wise, college-wise?
I'm real nervous about the role of Carmera. But other than that, I'm just about my only concern. And big predictions. Let's see. Nope. Got nothing. That's too soon. I do think I really want. I deep down in my heart, I do want to say that Tennessee has the chance to blow up the upset, but I think that's just because I'm a fan. So
yeah,
I'm also realistically know that it's just not gonna happen because even if we were a good team, Florida has our number and they just dominate. So, but I mean that would be the only thing I could predict. Everything else, nah. We'll see. It should be an interesting weekend.
I predict we're going to see a lot of shitty quarterback play again. Like the Jets.
More injuries.
Goodness. You watching that?
Yeah. Kind of felt bad for him there.
Rosen's in now, though. So, all right. Well, yeah, that's all I have to.
We'll put a kibosh there for sports there, so we'll move on from there.
Vikings Raiders, that'll be a good one.
The Chiefs, the Chiefs Ravens game will probably be the best NFL game of the week.
Chiefs Ravens, yeah.
And then in Notre Dame, Georgia.
Entertainment value for sure. I like the Browns and the Rams.
Yeah.
Although Rams defense might.
What are you doing? Do you understand you're whistling and it hurts because we have headphones on? Adults are having a conversation here about hot dogs.
Speaking of hot dogs and whatnot, we had this discussion last week, but you guys were not here.
No, so you had this discussion last week.
Yes, you're right. I talked. Yeah, I had this discussion to myself and with your replacement, Steven.
Who's that?
What would your last meal be if you were in prison on death row? What's your last meal going to be?
Oh, it's simple. I want a salad with ranch, and I want a ribeye.
You're gonna waste
Okay,
that on a filler
croutons?
salad?
Just shut the fuck up. I want a filler. I'm gonna get.
I want to
I'm gonna
eat
get
grass
bloated.
with
Just
ranch
stop.
on it.
If
That's what I
but
want
listen,
for my last meal.
Hey.
I'm gonna fill up my
Croutons,
stomach with
cheese,
lettuce.
bacon bits.
You can't fucking get a little doggy bag to take the rest of your steak and,
I'm
home.
not gonna
You're
take the rest of
die.
my steak home. I'm not gonna take the rest of my steak home. I want a shitty salad with ranch, croutons, and cheese on it, and then I want a nice big old ribeye steak cooked medium rare, and I want a loaded baked potato. And I like to have a nice ice glass cup of Coca-Cola at a crisp 33 degrees. If it's 34, I'll send it back.
If it's 34, I'm sending it back.
And I want the spaghetti.
What
and
is
salad,
this?
And I don't want the spaghetti on top of the salad. No, a simple meal. That's like my favorite. Ribeye, baked potato, and a salad. Like I love it.
That's good.
Texas toast, roll, cornbread.
Whatever they have, I don't care.
Tell you what, I'm
I'll
not
take
wasting any room on a salad on my last meal.
I'm
Who
with
cares?
you on.
Who cares?
You
You're
guys didn't listen
probably
to
not gonna
last
be able to
week.
eat because you're gonna be so sick to your stomach because you're about to die. So you're
Well,
probably gonna be like, "Oh, this sounds good."
How long before you die is your last meal, you know?
Probably a few hours.
The night before.
Yeah, but they don't want you to shit yourself, so you're probably...
You're gonna die. You're dying at 8 a.m. Electricity. Roll 1. Roll on 2. That's at 8 a.m.
I want a
So
fried
you're
chicken
eating
dinner with gravy on the
Yeah.
taters.
Taters, yeah. and your dinner is 7 o'clock the night before.
And you die at 6 in the morning, or what?
8
8
a.m. They'll let you sleep in. Yeah, they'll let you sleep in a little bit. You gotta shave your head.
You do?
Roll on 2.
You ever seen Green Mile?
No.
They did it at midnight though. That's worse. I'd be too tired. I'm tired. Can we move this execution up like 10:30? Can't wait that long.
Sure.
What do you mean? Yeah, I'm with Steven though on the salad. I want a nice little crisp starter. Okay, because it's gonna take a little bit to get my steak. I want something to eat on while I'm waiting for my steak. So I'm with Steven on. It doesn't have to be a huge salad. It can be like 4 or 5. Forkfuls. I'm good.
Truthfully, a salad is only supposed to be 4 or 5 forkloads, and in Europe they eat it at the end of the meal because it's a digestivo, so they help eat that salad to help them digest their food. So they eat it at the end of the meal as opposed to the beginning of the meal. Knowledge bomb.
That's why I'm proud to be an American.
Is that Mookie?
Greg,
is that
what's
Mookie
your,
Beats, or was that?
No,
the
that's
other
Chimmy.
Gnocchi beds?
one? Oh, okay. There's a new name every time we talk to him. He's got a new name.
Or Tuca Jr.
Greg, what's your final meal gonna be?
I call him Chimmy.
Chonga.
Thick like a chimichanga.
Chimichanga.
I don't even know what a chimichanga is, honestly.
It's a fried burrito.
Oh,
Fried burrito.
okay.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's like, why do you need to fry it? You really need to feel that much shittier? You know what I mean?
Well, I
You
mean,
fry it, they'll buy it.
if you fry it though, yeah.
I bet it's delicious. Hey, quit.
Greg, what is your final
My
meal?
final
It's
meal
gonna be
is
that
not-
cat pretty soon.
It's not mac and cheese and
City Walk?
steak and ketchup like you guys.
I didn't say anything about mac or cheese. No,
I didn't say
No, on their
so.
on
the
ties
Stefan-
solo
Stefan
project
did.
is
what I. Oh,
Oh,
tell
you
me
just
what?
what's
Tell me
your
some.
name, Greg? I should have asked you.
Now, tell me some corn on the cob from Iowa. Like
Oh,
we'll wait
yeah.
till like August. We'll wait till like a late July execution so I can have fresh corn on the cob. But go.
Yeah, I'm sure you can have a decision in that.
Hmm.
Greg, what about you? Wait, finally.
I don't know.
hot
Chinese
dogs and
food,
butter.
a stuffed grilled taco from Taco John's.
Oh my god. Stuffed grilled.
You just want a little bit of
Chinese food
everything.
from Little
A stuffed
Panda,
grilled
then a steak
taco
like
from
Steven. No salad.
Oh.
I mean, you got the taco. What do you need a salad for?
I don't know what else I'd want. A Casey's donut.
Ooh.
Ooh,
And
finish her
a
off,
liter of
one
Mountain
maple.
Dew, probably.
Just a liter, huh?
you want ice? That would be a swift kick in the. Here's your drink, sir.
Hot
Your last drink.
Mountain Dew.
A mountain, yeah. There's no ice. You didn't say anything about ice. What the heck?
I mean,
I thought you
By
just
the time it
assumed
freezes up,
it.
I'm gonna be
Wow.
dead. Yeah.
Nothing's worse than like a hot soda like that, and that's why you have to wash that food out.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't know.
Ooh, okay. Here's a poll question. You have to drink one hot soda that's been out in the car in the middle of summer. You have to drink it.
Sprite.
Which one are you gonna drink?
And there you go. And there they go.
I'm here.
Okay.
Just
I'd say
options.
Sprite.
I was gonna say orange soda.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's not that bad. I've done it before actually.
I'd have to go Sprite too. I think the worst would be Mountain Dew with
Oh
Coke.
God, yeah.
That'd hurt the worst.
Oh.
That or Yellow Powerade.
Oh.
Yellow
Mountain Dew
Powerade.
ain't bad. Warm.
I'd have to drink the Powerade with half a thing of Tums.
Wash the Tums.
That's
Tums down.
Steven,
Hey,
you're all
Tums,
green.
you
You're
ever
like
tried
a
making Zantac?
Limp Bizkit album
Just
cover.
discontinuing Zantac. It's got
Why?
they've found that it's got carcinogens in it that are harmful, but Zantac rebutted with we have if not less or we have just as much if not less amount of carcinogens as 98% of the food that we eat. So we're not going to stop making it. It just Canada's not going to get any more because Canada's the one who brought it up. So they Canada threw them under the bus. But anyway,
I need my
I get my
Zantac.
Zantac too. I'm going to have to start taking.
What is
That's one
that,
thing
allergy
about getting
shit or
old
what?
that I've noticed is I have
Huh?
heartburn
What?
way too
Zantac?
much.
What?
Heartburn and
It's,
stuff?
heartburn and indigestion.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Upset stomach diarrhea.
That's Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah, I know. One other leisure question. You have a choice to go to a college football game, an NFL game, a hockey game, or a baseball game. All regular season, all night games. Where are you going?
Okay, can I do this like back in like? Does it have to be now, like today, or can it be any?
It has to be.
Because I'm going.
It has to be today. It has to be today.
That sucks. That changes everything.
It kind of
Just do
does,
both.
but
I mean, I'll do
first of
present
all,
day, but I want to know what you're getting at.
Like,
well, he's gonna go to 1998 and watch Peyton play for
well, it was
Tennessee.
97 he played in Tennessee, but I'm just gonna say anything
You're
before
right.
2001, watching Tennessee play an SEC team of some kind of rival at nighttime because it was we were relevant and they were always good games. But now, I mean, it'd be hockey for sure because baseball is awful to watch. It's fun to go live, but whatever. And NFL games, like, yeah, I'd rather watch hockey. It's closer. You're more confined. Yeah, the fans are rowdy. The hockey team is good. It's experience. It's great. It's like going to Musketeers game, but like just a couple notches better.
The games
It's
matter.
just a couple notches better though, because the Musketeer games are great, and that was the USHL, but the NHL it's just a little bit better, but not too much to where if somebody says, "Hey, we're going to watch some minor league hockey team," I'm like, "Sweet, let's go now. I'm ready." But the other two, baseball and NFL, I don't really care about going.
All right, Greg, what about you?
Well, I don't know. As far as I want to say football, but the best place to watch football is on a TV.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
good
no,
for a little
sure it
bit.
is.
Then once the experience wears off, you're like, "Wow, I can't see shit. I have no perception unless you're on." Like if I was on the 50-yard line, then I'd
And
say
that close,
football.
yeah.
I'd say like a Sunday night game, Patriots, or like a I've been to a Notre Dame game, so I guess what I would like to go to is like a night NFL game, see what that's like.
Yeah, I've never been to a night game, NFL game, but hockey games. I've been to a couple of those. They're a lot more fun. I feel like there's something there that keep your attention the whole time. Unlike NFL, it's a little more slowly, and you can never get good cell service.
And you get nice 2 breaks, go whatever. But like it's even just like the walking to the arena and then leaving the arena, especially after winter. Like the whole entire day is fun.
Yeah,
I
I'd
had much
agree with
better
that. I'd
time
like
doing
to
that.
see the Bruins.
Yeah.
But
That's because I
going to see the
care
Red
more about
Sox
them.
in Fenway Park
I would definitely like to see that.
would be something cool. I think going to a night game, watching them play in Fenway, that'd be something real cool.
Like going to
But-
the Yankees game.
Yeah, that'd be like $300.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
we're hypothetically
yeah, I
talking
know.
here because
Agreed.
I want to go to the Preds game and I want to be like pressed up against the glass so I can bang on it. You know,
Yeah.
like, that's gonna be $300.
Ideal. Yeah.
I mean, we found some for preseason, which is interesting for like next week. That were like
It's like $12.
They were like 50, but that was up against the glass.
Oh, really?
Up against the glass, $50.
Oh, against the
for
glass.
preseason.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah, the cheapest one you could buy were way up on top for like $12. Yeah, 12 or 14. But I'd pay $50 to sit up against the glass to watch preseason hockey.
But,
I don't care.
Speaking of that,
Why not?
I
I
don't
think
know
you
if I
get two
would.
games.
It's
You
preseason.
get 2 games for $50. It's the.
Eh.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You have much better.
Would you rather go to a free preseason game or half-priced regular season game?
I'd rather go to a half-price regular season game, but I'm just saying, for $50, you get 2 games and you're against the glass on preseason. How that you can't go wrong. It's $25 a game, and you get a smack, and you get pucks. You get a you have a better chance to interact with the players.
well, it depends. If it's an early one, you're
Yeah.
not gonna get any of the the main players.
Well, no,
You'd want to go like
the
the later, the end of the preseason kind of.
Well, I don't know. The Predators. The Predators played. The only ones who didn't play were like Forsberg and Johansson. But we had half the people played first game, and the second people that really have played.
Oh, really?
And those people that I mean, besides not
Bruins
seeing
only played
Phillip
like
and-
2 starters, regular.
Well, we have a lot of like AHL and the minor league that they're trying trying to figure out.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to build a
Make the
roster.
team,
Trying to
yeah.
make a roster.
That's what I mean. I figured
Yeah.
you didn't have like any of the normal guys.
Well, I
in
think
there.
it was also the first preseason game, so I feel like they're just playing just because they get back just because they missed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
it's too soon for me.
Yeah. Yeah. it
too
is.
soon, but it's just 3 weeks away, which is crazy.
I know that really the end of the year really burnt me out. Just
I
to
bet so, bud.
play like that, my God.
Yeah. Oh. Well, anything else you guys want to add before we wrap this episode up?
We're good to go. I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Well, monumental episode 20. It's been a fun ride so far. We hope you guys have been seeing improvements since week 1. Hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. Please don't hesitate to send us an email. Do anything like that on things you want us to change or things you like about the podcast or don't like. We definitely have our ears open on making a better product and more content for you guys. Share it. Make sure more people get to listen to it. That's how we expand the podcast and are able to do more cool and fun things. So send us an email, sportsandleisurepodcast@gmail.com. Like our page on Facebook, comment there, follow us on Twitter, give us a 5-star like and review on iTunes. Do all that good stuff. It'd be majorly appreciated. So, like I said, we're glad you guys tuned in. Hope you tune in next week for episode 21. And we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
See ya. So,
Sports.
Tide,
and leisure heflings, and leisure sports, and leisure heflings, and leisure sports, and leisure with heflings, and leisure sports, and leisure heflings, and leisure sports, and leisure heflings, and leisure. This is sports and leisure with heflings and leisure.
It's a
That's
light
whistling.
hearted whistle.
How are those hot
So,
dogs?
what you
got there?
delicious.
You mustard ketchup, or do you like relish on your dog?
I
Well,
got
you got
2
butter
hot
on it,
dogs
dip it in ketchup.
from-
I'd dig some
You
mustard.
get butter?
But I don't got any mustard. What's that? Yeah, butter.
You said butter,
Butter my buns, baby.
and then you toasted it,
Oh, okay. I thought you just
dipped
like,
it in some tub of butter, and
yeah, or just grabbed a knife and like grabbed a thing out of, yeah. I had 2 hot dogs from Walmart today, the Nathan's hot dogs.
they're delicious.
Delicious.
What kind of hot? What
They
are you eating?
are
Are you eating like a John Morel hot dog or something?
Cheese dogs.
scrumdiddlyumptious.
Huh?
Cheese dogs. That's the way to go.
Oh,
Cheesy.
Johnsonville.
Cheesy.
Inject cheese
Do you ever
into
go
the
to-
hot dog.
Do you ever
That's the way
go
to
to Rims and Processing?
Yeah.
Like Pete Staub? Do you ever go to get bratwurst and stuff from Pete Staub?
No.
Oh, he's got some good stuff, and Rimson. Hey, sir, hey,